Yo, 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 we got Billboard Breakdown Hot 100 October 19th, 2024. Think of it, we pray, new drop. From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Guys, I have something to show you. Wait. What's that box? What's that box, guys? No, okay, I'm not. Okay, also, I'm not showing you the pile of clothes on my couch. Okay, I'm showing you the box that I've got right here. The Lunchly. I like my cheese drippy, bruh. I like it drippy. You know? No? Okay, fine. Fuck you. No, whatever. It's fine. No, whatever. It's fine. No. You don't like it? It's fine. It's fine if you don't like it. I mean, everybody can hate. Everybody. There's always haters.
Hey there.
Always has to be haters.
In affiliation with Spectrum Pulse. And yeah, this is the last week of the Billboard year for 2024.
And we got KSI. Think of it, yeah.
Breakdown.
Oh, guys, a new season is upon us.
Last week of the Billboard
I think, right? Technically.
The company chose to realign with their award ceremony that nobody cares about. And as far as I can tell, nobody's decided to add weeks onto this year in order to compensate for it ending in mid-October. The fact that it's so wildly distorted is explicitly why the reason I'm going to be continuing to use my expanded calendar corrected list for my year-end content on my main channel. But the emotions I'm left with now are more of, that's it? You're gonna see so many think pieces in the next couple of months highlighting how great pop music or charting music in the mainstream was in 2024, and viewed in totality, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm there. For every shining triumph, it feels like the industry fallout was lying in plain sight, and it's not all pretty, but where so many folks are too busy turning up to really care about it. That's a problem. All I will say is that it's going to be very interesting if cultural narratives get hastily rewritten on the fly if the election in the States goes one way or the other. We'll have to see. You know it's going to happen. Of course, the other side of all this is that when you look at the top 10, the stagnation is very real in 2024, especially the past couple of months. I might still really love a bar song Tipsy by Shabuzi, but even I couldn't have predicted that it would run this long at the top. And as someone who doesn't listen to the radio, I think even the overplay is starting to get to me.
Yeah.
Still, it's really damn strong on streaming and sales. Even despite losing radio, it has a healthy margin on top. I don't hear what's going to knock it off. Now, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish would probably be the closest competitor. Her radio gains are slowing down. The margin is just way too large there to beat.
Here comes the
especially when you
2 to the
consider
3
that she
to the
lags
4.
on streaming and
bringing
sales
another
as well,
round.
so
We
she's
need
stuck
plenty
at number
more.
2. I would say that I Had Some Help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen could rise back beyond number 3, but the streaming's not getting any bigger. The radio's in free
They know
fall.
me and
I mean,
Jack
it could
Daniels
honestly
got
open a door for Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter to get past it beyond number 4, as she had an improved streaming week and the radio is still surprisingly okay, losing, just not as fast. But you know what, maybe that's the opening for Die With A Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars up to number 5. Or at least it would be if I thought the radio push was any kind of consistent to match up with the streaming. It just feels very sporadic. I'm not really buying in. And I hate to say it, but Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan at number 6 might just be out of gas. It gained in position, but streaming is down and it's bleeding radio.
So bring another round. We need plenty more.
Now that opens up the door for Taste by Sabrina Carpenter up to number 7. Her streaming is certainly
Bro, I say this every week, bro.
Has been painfully slow
She is
to get
so
this on
bad.
board, while there are
God.
other Sabrina Carpenter songs in active circulation, and that's kind of telling for me. But sticking solidly at number 8 is Lose Control by Teddy Swims, which has enough stability across the board still that when I tell you it's probably going to be the biggest song of 2024 based off of aggregate points for the Billboard year-end Hot 100, well, we'll see. If/when that happens, I think there's going to be a lot of folks who don't understand how the charts work who will get really mad on social media.
Oh my God,
yes. Their favorites.
Yes.
Just watch. Anyway, it held up over
happens so much.
by Sabrina Carpenter at number 9. Might have a slight edge on streaming, but the radio may have just peaked this week and it cannot beat the margins. And that means Beautiful Things by Benson Boone is back in the top 10 because it had a decent enough week on streaming and radio just hasn't dumped it yet. See what I mean by stagnation in the upper half of the charts here? Well, anyway, our losers and our dropouts, where in the latter category, the only song that's really worth caring about or mentioning is Lunch by Billie Eilish. It's a great song. I'm happy that it did well. Even if I get the impression that it won't be the one remembered for Billie Eilish this year, even though it'll likely make the year-end list. After that, our losers feel straightforward enough, starting with Future continuing to see album bomb losses for Lil Demon at 64, Pluto Ski at 79, Teflon Don at 82, Ski at 94, and All Red by Playboi Carti at 99. Yeah, I still think that joke is somewhat funny. Shut up. Outside of those, you got the expected losses off the debut for I'm Gonna Love You by Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood at 65, and Fall Fast in Love by Rod Wave at 97.
Is he having an album bomb?
An album bomb next week. It's probably going to rebound in a big way. And Love You, Miss You, Mean It by Luke Bryan just collapsing off of his big gains last week to 49. Some clarification to last week's episode, his massive boost here was due to his album release. And that was timed just right with the surge on Nashville radio.
That makes sense.
Honestly, something I should have caught up in my analysis. My bad there. Now, finally, we got some of the expected fading for the Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park.
I was like, what is this?
Kind of shocked that it's
I forgot. Like, it has this cover or whatever. Like, what is that? Looks like the fucking Witherstorm in Minecraft story mode.
Down pretty naturally to 61. Now, for our returns and gains, really in the former category, just feels like filling in the gaps at the bottom, where Nashville tends to be well primed. With Holy Smokes by Bailey Zimmerman.
Holy fucking smokes, I got my money up. Burn all these bands to me around, just the damn right it up.
Here, and oh god, I am not comfortable with a lot of these. So let's start off with the good news, and I Never Lie by Zach Top getting a boost off his return to 68. I mean, it's certainly a hell of a lot better than Or What by Emily Chapa and 41 surging to 52, or El Locoron by Tito Double P
52?
Surprisingly good
what
week
the hell?
Dos Diaz with Pesa Pluma also rose to 51. And in our continued gains, Prove It by 21 Savage and Summer Walker rose up to 71, and Wind Up Missing You by Tucker Wetmore surged up to 43 on account of his EP's release. Now from there, look folks, it's a mixed bag. Hull On by Glorilla rose up to 85. Her album release is likely going to do big numbers and probably push this much higher. Residuals by Chris Brown went to 75.
Still here?
Good radio week. Am I Okay by Megan Maroney going to 63. Likely
I still hate that cover.
Issue for her. Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae went up to 54 because it looks like radio might be giving her some gas for some abysmal stupid reason. Sailor Song by Gigi Perez has continued momentum up to 33. And I Love You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams is at 31 because
Twitter, you did this.
Derivative kind of works for your streaming playlisting about as well as your obvious nepotism. Anyway, we actually have a very limited list of new arrivals. But you know what? We're actually going to start off with number 95. New drop.
I thought he was going to do the, what was the world hit or whatever? This TikTok.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit surprised that Don Toliver is getting some late traction with this deep cut from his most recent album. Apparently TikTok is really behind this one, and
I don't know why.
That hook, I guess I'm not surprised that it's gone viral. If it's soundtracking videos of a guy trying to pick between two hot girls against the spare pulsating bass, the hazy vocal sample, and the thicker atmosphere that's welling up around him, especially as the trap percussion slips into some of the verses. But you know what, speaking of those verses, it almost sounds like Don Toliver would rather be flexing on his own time and not fuck with anyone. He says it directly. Just go his own way, dodge all the stress of these women. But I don't know, if the conceit of your song is, you got two women competing for your affection and your attention, and you don't actually describe them or what they might be doing beyond annoying you, I think it's a real missed opportunity, especially as those synths getting
like fuck, bro, I just get so many women. It's so annoying.
I don't know, folks. The
damn.
Hook is decent. The production generally works.
God damn it.
I don't think enough is really made of the central conceit beyond that viral moment on the hook. Just okay at best. Number 88, Fix What You Didn't Break by Nate Smith.
Put your wings around me, girl, you went out of your way to fix what you didn't break.
You know, it feels like Nate Smith had a brief moment where he made a really interesting single with Wreckage, and then just everything since has felt very much uninteresting in mainstream country. So to say that I had very low expectations for this, an obvious understatement. And you know what? This was kind of close to getting to be that second single that has a little more going on, mostly off the content. Because when you get older and you're trying to peel through the mess in your baggage and your past for a new relationship, the euphoria, the gratitude and relief of finding someone with whom you can try again, maybe even fix some of your own baggage.
Kendrick Lamar reference.
Even if I think Nate Smith doesn't quite have the right pipes to sell it on the hook. He's trying for more of a visceral shout, and it's just the wrong timbre for that sort of emotion in this style of writing. Granted, the entire song feels kind of oversold and overproduced. The chalky program percussion,
I can definitely see that.
Rock guitars, a little bit too much reverb around the
Yes,
vocals.
everything
The
is going
vocals,
on.
The hook is really rough as a whole. Feels synthetic in a way it shouldn't. But overall, you know, I like the sentiment a lot. It's doing heavy lifting for me, but I just don't expect this to be that memorable once again. Just okay. Number 87, We Pray by Coldplay, featuring Little Sims, Burna Boy, Eliana, and Tiny.
So we pray, we'll be singing Mariah. Pray that we make it to the end of the day. And so we pray.
This is the first time Little Sims has crossed over to the Hot 100, and that just makes me sad. She deserves better than Coldplay's newest clunky attempt to make a Give Peace a Chance song that doesn't have any real teeth to get political in a political time, and where, quite frankly, Coldplay might be the weakest part of the entire track. There's no intensity, no usage of the rock band's actual firepower to drive a crescendo. It's one of the reasons I couldn't stand Everyday Life back in 2019. It's the feeling that Chris Martin is just way out of depth for this sort of track, and the song winds up feeling sanitized and broadly sketched, not willing to make an actual statement, so it winds up feeling completely toothless. Now, I can't blame Little Sims or Burna Boy or Eliana or Tiny here.
Gotta get
Maybe
that.
they probably came
Gotta
down
get
from the
that
label
bag.
on high. They couldn't actually set any political fires on a Coldplay song. But when you got that blown out 808 and the strings well up around the touches of Afrobeat percussion and some of those vocals on the outro, especially when it feels so melodically frail in the verses, it just feels honestly kind of gentrified, not helped by the multiple versions that
kind of makes
cut
sense.
Tiny or Little Sims' verses. For the
What?
record,
They got
Little Sims
versions
gets
for
a
that?
bit more momentum with her verse. I think that version's a bit better, even if, again, not a lot to be said about her content either. Honestly, I'm just more frustrated because it feels like Coldplay is a ghost on their own song, especially with Max Martin taking the lead on production and songwriting with 4 other producers, and then delivering something so sterile and empty and anonymous. As I said in my review of the album, it's a charity single on Rent for a Cause. It sure as hell's not good, but you want to know what
is
might
it
be worse? Number 84, Thick of It by
Everybody
KSI
knows,
featuring
they know me
Trippie
where
Redd.
it snows, I ski it where they froze. I don't know nothing about no ice, I'm just cold. 40 something, milli something subs I've been told.
Y'all,
I'm in my
you gotta
prime,
be better
I'm
than
in
the
my final
stupid hate
form.
listens. You're doing KSI's marketing for him, especially when the industry isn't exactly tripping over itself to give KSI more attention. Now, this is the second time that he's charted stateside. The first was way back in 2021 with the collab with Lil Wayne that I've largely forgotten about
This
because
is
KSI
how
is
the
remarkably
story
forgettable
goes.
as an artist.
Whoa.
And yeah, the buzz for this was profoundly negative.
I guess
so
this
color me
is how
surprised that
the
while this is
story
not
goes.
good, I was
I'm
expecting
in
it
the
to be
thick of
way
it,
worse for all the
everybody
backlash it
knows.
got.
They know
Yeah,
me
KSI
where it snows,
stacked
I
his
ski
vocals
it
so he
where
could
they
barely
froze.
stay on key
Oh,
for
no, no,
underpowered
nothing
track
about no
singing,
ice, I'm
and
just
that's where all
cold.
the auto-tune
40
is
cents
dumped
a
on.
minute,
The
so
production sounds like
I've
something
been
that
told.
would've been
To the
laughed
screen,
out of a
to the
cold
ring, to the
demo.
pen,
Trying
to the
match
king.
that
Where's my
main
crown?
guitar
That's
loop
my
that
bling.
sounds great
Always
from
trouble
Avicii's
when I
Wake
ring.
Me Up into all the
See,
crap
I believe
whirring,
in
and
it,
Trippie
see
Redd
it in
just
my heart.
humiliates himself as per
See
usual
it
with that
as I'm
particular
reaching
cushion
for
of
the stars.
atmosphere. But I am gonna say it,
Whoa.
the hook melody is catchy. I kind of get
This
why
is
it
how
might
the
work.
story
Now, shame KSI's not really
goes.
doing anything with it. The song is obviously a
Whoa.
self-effacing
I
flex
guess
with
this
the
is
perennially
how the
embarrassing brag at
story
looking at YouTube subscriber
I'm in the thick
numbers.
of it,
But nobody
everybody
thinks
knows.
KSI is a
They know
king
me
when
where
they
it
kind of
snows, I
rap
ski
over
it
his
in where
pen.
they froze.
Especially when you
Oh, I
want
just
to
froze.
brag about
Nothing
drama
about no
on your
ice,
second
I'm
verse
just
if it's all the
cold.
boring
40 something,
platitudes,
milli
which somehow
something
feel
subs
even more
I've been
empty
told.
when Trippie Redd
I'm
starts
in
doing
around.
it. Just feels hollow in a distracting way. And even if the hook may be catchy, yeah, no, with KSI, I don't care to endorse this. And I think it's very obviously the worst of this week. We Pray was
What?
close, but I'll give it to Burna Boy. He really commits
This
to
is the
hook.
best song
And
of the
portion
week.
that has Lil Sims' verse, it was just enough in the end. Now, best of the week, I'm giving it to Fix
I
What
guess
You
this
Didn't
is
Break by
how
Nate
the
Smith, mostly for the
story
euphoria and sense of gratitude it did come through. It's not exactly well produced or
They know
well
me where it
delivered,
snows,
but the
I
sentiment
ski it
rang
and it
true
froze.
strongest for
I
me,
don't
and
know
that's
nothing
not saying
about no
much.
ice,
And man,
I'm
if
just
that's how
cold.
this Billboard
40
year
something,
ends. It
milli
feels
something,
limp. I just gotta
I've
say
been
it.
told.
Next week, well, new Billboard year begins. Providing any shenanigans aren't afoot, we're gonna have to see about that. But until then, I'm Mark. You're watching Billboard Breakdown, affiliated with Spectrum Pulse. Thank you all for watching this season, my 10th season. And I'll see y'all.
W Mark. Hey, W Mark grinding, bro. Keep grinding, bro. We love your videos, man. Much love from the Noah Reactions community. Oh, I'm so out of shape. Fuck. Thank you for watching.